damn, when they you can't see them in Pittsburgh, I was like, dang, they for real.
And ever since you either heard about it in 2022 or I actually came to see you, you have not wanted to testify in this case, correct?
Said it, yeah, because I lied. I knew I lied. You can't put me up here to the lie. Why you think I'm so scared because I don't know. I can't remember my lies. So it's just like you don't know which one to lie and which one to truth. So you can just easily be like, well, you lying, we'll lock you up. I ain't trying to go back to jail.
And for the last 2 years, you've been trying to figure out how you want to get around having to face these your YSL counterparts about what you told the police back in 2015, correct?
If anybody know me, they better be serious with me.
And you made up in your mind that you were going to tell this jury whatever it is that you were going to finesse, that you were finessing the police back in 2015, correct?
I had no intentions in sitting in front of this jury. Y'all forced me to sit up here. Y'all gave me immunity. I told y'all I lied and I'm gonna plead the fifth.
And because we forced you, you had to figure out how to finesse your way through testifying in front of this jury, correct?
I'm not finessing my way. I'm telling my truth. Like, and this is that.
Now, in 2015, you consistently said you told the police whatever you could to get yourself out of jail, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And your finessing was about you getting out of jail, correct?
And me only.
It was never about protecting Thug back in 2015, correct?
And it still ain't about right now. It's like, and you might try to say I'm protecting him now. It's just my conscience. You know what I mean? My conscience knows this man ain't did anything. And I'm not trying to have it on my conscience.
Okay. But in 2015, when you talked to the police in any of those 2015 interviews, you always omitted your roles in crimes because that would make sure that you did not go to jail, correct?
I don't understand
Sure.
you.
In 2015, when you talked to the police about crimes that you were involved in, you left yourself out of it, correct?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Because that would make sure that you didn't go to jail, correct?
What you mean?
When you talked to the police, you didn't tell them about your role in Rich Homie Quan's dad's barbershop shooting, correct?
Did they ask me about that?
You told them that Rich Homie Quan wanted to pay money for Threat to shoot up the barbershop, or wanted to pay people to harm Threat because he shot up the.
Yeah, because I'm trying to make the police believe that I can help them. So a lot of stuff I told them back then is just like, okay, I'm the key. I'm the one with all the information. You know what I mean? So that was my motive back then.
Okay.
So I was speaking on a lot of stuff that, you know what I mean? Like anything to make the police feel like, oh, I know all the business. I can tell them everything they want to know.
So again, you didn't tell them about your part in shooting up Rich Homie Quan's barbershop, right?
Did I tell them about my part?
Correct. You did not tell the police that you and Threat shot up the barbershop, did you?
So what, you gonna charge me now?
I didn't say that. I'm just asking you a question. Did you tell the police back in 2015 that you and Threat shot up the barbershop?
No.
Right. Because telling them would not let you get out of jail, right? If you told them that, you would get in trouble for that, correct?
Well, anybody get hurt, so I ain't think no. My whole thing is lie to the police. So I'm not gonna tell them the truth about nothing that took place for real. Okay. Especially what got something to do with me.
All right. Also, you didn't tell them about your parts in the stolen items that were found in your house in June of 2015, correct?
They told me about the stolen stuff that they found.
But you didn't tell them about your part in those stolen items being found in the home, correct?
And Dunbar?
Yes.
What you mean?
You told them it was Little Mike and Quez, correct?
I don't get what you asked me though. I told the police that I gave them their names. Yeah. That's what you asked?
So you did not tell the police about any crimes that you were involved in, correct?
I wasn't committing crimes on the behalf of nobody but myself. Anything I do is beneficial to myself. If that's what you asking, I don't get what you asking me.
Right. Anything is beneficial to yourself.
I
So
don't take shots for nobody. Can't nobody tell me what to do. Nobody knows able to tell me what to do. I'm gonna do what I want to do regardless.
so when you were meeting with police, you did things that were beneficial for you, correct?
What they mean?
You just said I did things that's beneficial for me. That's what you just said, right?
I'm saying, like I'm my anything. I'm a selfish person. If that's what you asking.
So when you were in those interviews, it was all about self-preservation for you, correct? You want to do anything so that you did not go to jail, right?
That's what I said.
Okay. So even if that meant telling on your friends, that's what you were going to do so that you did not go to jail, correct?
No. Telling on my friend would be like, okay, Bobby robbed this store, and Bobby did rob the store, and it's proof that Bobby robbed the store, and I was with Bobby when he robbed the store. But making up things saying, okay, Bobby shot Tony. Bobby was over there somewhere else where he could prove that he ain't had nothing to do with it. It wouldn't make sense. They're just getting the police off me. That's what I was doing.
So the finesse was, I'm going to tell the police what I know about the murder because that's going to keep me out of jail. But I'm not going to tell them what I've done because that's also going to keep me out of jail, correct?
No, my whole thing was, I don't got nothing to do with nothing, and nothing don't got nothing to do with me. So when I'm talking to the police, they're so convinced that I did this crime, and they're not going for the stuff I done told them in the past. So I'm just keep trying to talk my way out of it, and I'm making stuff. I'm stupid at the time.
And the finessing that you did to police back in 2015 is always and only was going to be about you and what you needed, correct?
I don't get what you're asking me.
You told Mr. Weinstein last week that you were a BSer. Do you remember telling him that last week?
You told me that yourself one day we was in the back talking.
Do you remember telling Mr. Weinstein that last week?
Yes.
And right now, you're still trying to finesse this jury because it's still always about you, correct?
I'm not trying to finish this jury. I'm trying to be God under you, trying to get up out of here so I can move on with my life. And that's it.
You're still YSL, correct?
What you mean? Am I still YSL?
And you're still YSL for life, correct?
I don't get what you're saying. Like,
You're still YSL for life. That's what you said in the off the porch video, correct?
but you trying to make it seem like it's a game though. That my only purpose is it's not a game. So you saying what you saying. If you drop the game, like you confusing like a more.
All I'm asking you is, are you still YSL for life?
Am I still YSL for life?
Yes.
I don't know how to answer that. Like I don't know.
And what you're doing and what you've been doing for the last couple of months that you've been on the stand is you're still trying to stay loyal to YSL, correct?
If that was the case, I wouldn't even be up here lying on them. If I'm trying to be loyal to them, I wouldn't be trying to lie and put the blame off on them.
And you feel guilty now because you told the police what Shannon, Yak, Thug's involvement was in the murder of Donovan Thomas back in 2015, correct?
No, ma'am. I feel guilty because I have put my hand in some stuff that I should never even done. It's a difference. Like I keep telling you, if I knew that these boys did this and that I saw them do that, and I can say for facts they did this.
And matter of fact, in the October interview, October 2021 interview, you talked to Investigator Viverito about what you told police back in 2015, correct?
Probably so.
Okay. And you talked to her about the fact that you feel guilty. Do you recall doing that?
I said I talked to her about. I do. I have a conscience. Like, you know what I mean? Y'all caught me in a vulnerable. In 2015, y'all caught me in a vulnerable state. And then, you know what I mean? I was going through a lot. I have done so much stuff. And it was just like, and police got me, and I'm trying to throw the blame off on other people that I should never did.
And in 2021, 7 years later, you told Investigator Viverito what I told you back then was the truth, correct?
Because you gotta understand. So I don't, and I know you don't know. Varito, Gates, those people touch us. You feel me? Like they literally sit there and follow us around and pull the car over, lock us up because they know we don't have a license. Like they constantly do that like on a daily basis. So when I'm in front of them, I already know they about to lock me up. And I'm just Varito, she's better than Gaten because she know how to play on you good. And I knew she was playing on me, and I was trying to play back on her. I was trying to convince them that I would be truthful with them.
And did you tell her that I told them everything in 2015, but no one ever helped me out?
I never needed nobody else because my only thing was shit. I knew they was playing on me, but like I said, they sitting here. I didn't want to go to jail. If I could prolong it out, or they go for what I'm saying, then hopefully I could get out of here.
So what you're saying, what you told Investigator Riverito was not the truth.
What I'm telling you is, I mean, June, the whatever date you said, when they questioned me, I have made it up. I told you that before you put me on the stand in front of the jury. The jury didn't even have to hear see me. But y'all still forced me up here. I told you I was going to plead the fifth, and y'all like, why would I plead the fifth? And I told y'all why, because I lied. So don't put me up here and expect for me to say something that is a lie. If you ask me the truth, and I can tell you the truth. And the truth is, I didn't see these boys commit no crime. I'm not trying to protect nobody. I don't even know some of them over there.
Your Honor, they would like to attend the State Exhibit 378, Yankee, Frank, and play portions of the October 2021 interview. But first,
You may. Tell me that number again also, please.
yes, Your Honor, 378, Yankee, Frank.
Okay. Any of y'all need a restroom break? If you don't, that's fine. But if you do, let me know. It would be a good time to take one. Y'all all good? All right.
Someone to reiterate in between the time of the original statement and testifying. Okay, we'll say those two things are inconsistent. I don't know why a statement made in between those two times would be admissible as either a prior inconsistent or prior consistent statement. It just seems like we're at this point using another out-of-court statement to both.
I'm Eugene Vindman. I'm a Democrat running for Congress in a district we must win.
I think the state's position is that Mr. Copeland is now saying he's now disavowing everything he said in 2015 and saying all of that was a lie. And it's only here today that I'm telling the truth. Everything before was a lie. And here is something prior to today that is him saying the exact opposite of what he is saying today. So it is inconsistent in that way.
So his disavowing prior statements certainly has happened, and he's disavowed it. To me, as I've listened to the testimony, he hasn't specified, oh, I disavowed the June 10, 2000. He said every time I talk to the police, it's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what playing another statement, which he's already saying is a lie, what that is accomplishing. I just don't see this. To me, the state needs to outline a path, an exception to admit a out of court statement. And I'm not seeing the exception to the general rule that out of court statements would not be admitted into trial.
Do you want to speak to that, Ms. Hilton?
I believe the court said in its analysis that you just gave, what he's saying in court now in June of 2024 is inconsistent with what he has said in any of his interviews to police. And in 2021, 6 years after he gave his initial statement, he is still telling the police in 2021, what I told you in 2015 was true. You all didn't help me in 2021. What I told you all then is what I knew. I gave you the information. That is inconsistent with what he is saying now in court, that he's just finessing the police, that he's just telling them whatever, and the jury can determine if they believe what he's saying now in court, or if they believe what he told the police back in 2015 and in 2021. They can make that decision. But this is an inconsistent statement with what his court testimony is.
But isn't someone in 2021 saying what I told you in 2015 is the truth, was the truth? Isn't that exactly what we don't allow in the trials, is someone self-bolstering their own statements? Like, I mean, if I make a statement and then I just go around town and tell everyone, hey, that statement I made is the truth, that statement I made is the truth, are we going to have a trial where we call in 100 people to say I said it was the truth?
Yeah. So, I mean,
But
Ms.
he's-
Hilton, is your position that even though he is saying on the stand, everything I said before was a lie and what I'm saying today is the truth, that it's in fact the opposite of that?
Yes, we believe that what he told the police back in 2015 and in 2021 was true. Like that's the state's position.
And that he is now, you believe, lying on the stand.
Correct. The state believes he is lying on the stand saying that what he said back then isn't true, but even
And that his motive for doing so is,
we believe his motive for doing so is that he's now present and has to deal with what he said back in 2015, now sitting in front of the individuals he tested or he talked to police about. He now has to confront his own statements in front of these defendants who he talked about back in these interviews in 2015.
and so he's trying to wiggle out of it today.
He's trying to wiggle out of what he told the police back then, back in 2015. And furthermore, in 2021, he's asserting again what he said back then was true, but now he's trying to tell this jury that everything he's always said is a lie. But in 2015, with no prompting from anyone else, he brings up what he told police in 2015. Investigator Verito didn't ask him about what he said in 2015. With his own prompting, he told the detectives his first line, which is on page 12.
All right, so I think that this would come in under 24-6-613 C. That essentially right now, he has, and I'm not saying he does, but the state's position is that he currently today has a motive to lie, and that this 2021 position he took with the police is before that motive to lie arose, and it's prior to that. Although honestly, it's not a consistent statement, then it's an inconsistent statement. So, I mean, in all honesty, I mean, you've already rehashed a lot of this, and I think we're just kind of plowing the same ground.
And furthermore, the defense counsel brought up this interview, one, by playing the jail calls that they played. They played, this is the interview that was leaked. And I believe Mr. Shar asked a line of questioning about this particular interview. I think he ended up asking the question. He was getting ready to play the video, but he did not play the video. I think he asked questions along this, regarding this interview, and I would have to find the exact clip when he actually was going to play this interview for the jury, but I think he ended up just asking a question because there might have been some technical difficulties with the interview itself. So this interview has been discussed. The portions are about 2 minutes total. And more importantly, Your Honor, the last section is what I just asked him about, which is feeling guilty about having to confront or be around thugs. And what he says in this,
It's the same thing. I feel guilty about it. He doesn't say why he feels guilty about it.
on page 24, he does. He says, excuse me, on page 168, he does say why he feels guilty. He says, you don't understand how it makes me feel when I go around. You want to know, I think he says, know the truth. When I go around, dude, I know what I done. So I don't want to be around him because of guilt. That's why I don't want to be around, because I'm afraid.
And you fill in the blank about what the reason for that guilt is.
He says it here. He says, I know the information that I gave. Y'all sit here and play like this ish ain't valuable.
Which could be, I ratted him out, or could be, I totally made up something on him, and he doesn't specify which.
But we believe when you look at the totality of it all, our argument is that he is talking about the fact that he gave up information.
Okay, but this doesn't establish that this is inconsistent with what he's saying on the stand. You need to move on to another topic. I'm not going to allow this. I'm going to give you this back.
Thank you.
All right, let's get the jury back out. Hank, none of it. Thank you. Go ahead, Ms. Sultan.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, Mr. Copeland, you've told the jury now, Deshaun, you would agree with me, Deshaun is not the police, correct?
Can you say it again?
Deshaun, she's not the police, right?
Right.
She's the mother of your child, your daughter, correct?
Correct.
And in 2015, and through 2019, when you were in custody, she was taking care of your daughter, correct?
Can you say that again?
In 2015, she was taking care of your daughter, correct?
Correct.
And you would agree that, at least back then in 2015, you loved her?
Can you say that again?
Sure. In 2015, you loved Deshaun, correct?
I still do today.
All right. And you cared about her, correct?
I still do today.
And back in 2015, Deshaun was the person who was trying to get you a bond. Like she was trying to help you get a bond, correct?
How she gonna do that? She not the judge.
No, she was trying to get you the money for the bond, correct? To help pay
Oh,
the
she was
bond.
doing what I asked her to do.
And she's someone that you confided in, correct?
What you mean?
She's someone that you talked to, that you trusted with what you told her, correct?
I don't trust nobody.
But Deshaun was someone who can see right through you, correct?
You can't even see right through me.
I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about Deshaun.
No.
Deshaun isn't someone that you could finesse, correct?
Say that again.
Deshaun is not someone that you could finesse, correct?
She not somebody I can confess.
Finesse.
And what make you figure that?
And in 2015, you talked to her repeatedly on these jail calls, correct?
Yes.
And you talked to her about what you felt.
I talked to her about what I felt.
Yes. Your feelings.
All right.
You talked to her about your interviews with the police.
I'm listening.
You talked to her about what you told the police, correct?
Mhm. I talked to her about what I wanted to tell her.
And you told her everything that you were feeling back in 2015, correct?
No.
All right.
Cause I didn't. No.
I want to play for you what's already been admitted as Stacey Exhibit 394Y. And I'm only going to play from 7:50 to 11:24.
Right now.
Yes.
Oi. Yeah. Tô.
Yeah, I just know I ain't tell you, cause I ain't want you to be worried and nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why Shannon act like it told me.
Yeah.
So I said, "Well, man, I ain't had nothing to do with what man going on. If I let you take me with my family, man, I just go out like a sucker.
Yeah.
I mean, but they say they gonna move me so I can't by doing that to me and like it, and then they gotta see how everything work, and they like shit. They need D tell them what happened, cause D told me what happened. So I mean, they can't go out with
They told you what happened with
about what happened to they know what's going with that shit, man.
Talking about what?
Yeah.
Mm.
So, I mean, when D tell them when they see that I ain't just making nothing up and they ain't lying stuff like this, then they gonna try to they gonna help. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I ain't gonna tell Trey now. I just tell you 'cause I know you.
So there, did you tell Deshaun that D just has to tell them what he told me?
Can you say that again?
Did you tell Deshaun right there in that call that D just needs to come down and tell them what they told me?
I did. See, one thing about me, I know they recorded my call. And that was after they locked me up. I knew they was playing me in the interview.
And did you also tell her that once D comes down there, then they'll believe that what I tell them is the truth?
Because that's what I was expecting.
So what's up? You feel what I'm saying? You know that tell me.
Trey, no, everybody gonna know.
Yeah. I mean, so they tell me and your sister, we gotta take them to the graveyard. That's all right.
Yeah, why you tripping with Devo?
I ain't telling y'all this.
You just told me you did.
No,
I
ain't telling you that. You feel me? I just told him.
you just said you did, Woody.
Listen, I'm telling you what I told him. I was just like, hey, bro, if I ever need you, you'll be right here. You'll be right here. You feel me? I like, bro. I like, don't let me down, bro. You feel me? I ain't.
You just said you told him. Cause you.
Listen, bro. I only told you.
Yeah.
I only told you. You the only person I told. The only person
Woody, which one you gonna say? Cause you, why you lying?
you're not listening to me, bro. I told you. I told him. Listen. I just asked him like, hey, bro. Would you ever be there? Would you ever be there?
You just switched the whole thing up.
No, you're not. I just told you. I let him know like. I just let him know like, bro. If I was to come to you with a situation, would you help? And he was like, yeah, bro. I like, you sure, bro? Cause I helped him when he came down here. You feel? So one thing I know, when these folks come in here, he not gonna lie. You know what I mean? He don't want to play with these people, bro.
You had to do it.
Okay.
You still playing it?
No, we've stopped it. Now I want to play for you what's been tendered and will be bidded as State's Exhibit 404Y.
Do I need to listen to it?
Hello, this is a prepaid collect call.
Hang on a second. We'll try our backup system. All right. Let's try. You can hear it. Yeah, try that setting on my phone. Maybe. Okay. All right, Marcel. Nope. Okay. Yeah, that seems to be. No. Nope. Maybe. Maybe. Okay. See if you can play the audio. I don't know if it's gonna work or not. Just give it a try. Nope.
This is a prepaid collect call from Hello. This is a prepaid collect call from an inmate at Fulton County Jail.
Can you hear it, Mr. Cook? Can you hear it?
Yeah, I can.
We're there. Maybe if everybody turned the lights off and we just played it instead of. Like go back at the end.
Oh, that mess up.
Nobody else. I choose another. There's a thing. We're gonna try to do sporadic. First, turn off the backup system. Clearly, and maybe a backup system will work. In the meantime, IT. Maybe they'll have ideas for fixing it. I don't know. Clearly, the backup is not the answer. Yeah, let's just break until we maybe have this fixed.
I was doing a retreat and they tell me I went down. My heart stopped for a total of 17 minutes. When Grady got there, there was a young lady. She took over the compression.
Can we get Mr. Copeland back? Do we have either Mr. Steele or Mr. Adams on the others? Well, is anybody let them know to come back? There's Mr. Kokomo. All right. All right. There he is. You have everybody else. Queued up with what you want to, assuming we have sound that stays with us. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we don't know why, but the first sound system is back up, so we're gonna try to use that while we can. And I just cannot apologize more for, I mean, I know that your time is valuable, and I just hate that we keep having to essentially just lose chunks of time from this trial because we can't get our sound system to consistently work. And I am trying to do whatever I can to get that remedied. Anyway, let's just go ahead while we've got the sound.
And you're right, we're gonna play from 12:40 to 14:30. And this is on Stacy Exhibit 406Y.
Crazy. So that nigga was showing me, that the tip was showing the other I was skating the video with Doug saying, I just kept saying, I was thinking myself, that nigga trying to make it like it's me so they can lock me up, bro. And the whole time, that shit, like you trying to set me up, bro. That shit got me so mad, bro. Like, you keep putting my name, you didn't even know damn.
That shouldn't go off of what song say.
Nah, it just, bro, these folks already coming at me. Niggas showing that nowadays about something you know I ain't do. Why the hell would you put these songs out there and have folks really thinking I did this? You know what I'm saying? This is a damn fact. He should have put these names down. If you gonna rap about shit, he should have put their names down who did it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I fucking put my name in no shit, bro. Now I'm trying to be out there with my family, bro. I wouldn't even fuck with these niggas, bro. Period, bro. The only reason I called them just to see something. You feel what I'm saying? I don't want them folks to do nothing, bro. Like, but anyway, every time I think about this shit, they make me mad. I'm just saying, these niggas out there with their family and shit. The whole time, I ain't having nothing to do with nothing. I mean, I was just bro. These niggas did that shit. I ain't even have no problem with it, bro. Like, this shit so crazy. They ain't have no problem. They had a problem with Thug, bro.
Who had a problem with those? Nothing.
Chill, all them, yeah. They didn't, I mean, they just
Mm-hmm.
mad because I supposed to be, I mean, they think I supposed to be hanging
They
with
talking about, what?
1428. Now, Mr. Copeland, in that portion of that jail call, that's you talked to Deshaun, correct?
Yes.
And in that call, you talked about the fact that Thug put you inside of a song, correct?
Yes.
And you didn't like the fact that that song had been released at this point because people are thinking that you did something, correct?
Yes.
And that's what got you upset, correct?
That's what it say.
And were you upset about that? That he put your name in a song?
You sure right about that.
Okay. And when you said these N-words are shooting at us and all this is about something you know I ain't do, what are you talking about?
Exactly what I said. Somebody didn't do.
Okay. So who is the shooting at us? Who's the us you are referring to?
Whoever was behind that gun.
You said they're shooting at us.
Me,
Wait.
Deshaun, and my little girl.
This is in June of 2013, June of 2015. So that's who you're referring to?
Well, I can't be specific who I was preferring, but I'm pretty sure that's who I was talking about. Shit, I'm the only one ever getting shot at.
And when you said you're going to rap about it, put their names, who did it?
Huh?
When you said to Deshaun, why the hell would you put these songs out there and have folks really think I did this shit? You feel what I'm saying? This N-word, no, this N, no for a damn fact. He should have put these N name in it. You're going to rap about it, put their names, who did it.
Right. So if you go back and look, I said that after the interrogation. So anytime before that, and I was in jail, I never said that. I knew that they were gonna be listening to my calls.
Okay. You said you feel what I'm saying. Don't put my effing name in no shit. Did you tell Deshaun this?
That's what he said.
And I'm trying to be with my family. I ain't messing with, well, you didn't say messing. I ain't fucking with these N-words, bro, period. Only reason I called them was just to see something. I don't want these folks to do nothing for me, bro.
That's what I said.
And who didn't you want them doing anything for you?
You talking about 10 years ago.
Then you further said to her, I had nothing to do with nothing. I was at the house sleep. These N-words did this shit. I had no problem with this N-word nut, bro. This shit so crazy, man. They had a problem with Thug, bro. Who had a problem with Thug? Nut and them, and your response was Kel and them, correct?
That's what I said.
And this is what you're telling Deshaun, correct?
That's what we just heard.
The person that you trust and the person that you confide in.
And you heard her keep telling me, why am I lying?
She
She
didn't
said
say,
she see right through me, right?
she didn't say that on this call though, did she? Did she say that on this call? Did you hear her say that on this call?
Oh, I heard her say it, so
Did you hear her say it in the call I
none
just
of the
played?
clip you just played.
All right. So next I want to play for you State's Exhibit 407Y. And we're going to start at 3:28.
I don't know what to do.
Crazy.
I don't know what they say.
What you say?
I don't know. I ain't called back. I was talking about wait to I forget something.
I ain't talked to him.
Mm.
I know she's a trees is all right.
Mm.
You hear me?
Oh, yeah.
And then they thinking I'm doing everything for sure. So they thinking it me. You know what I'm saying? So they I can get about 25 years.
They don't even have no evidence,
Huh?
no proof. They don't have no proof or no evidence.
No, the fed different. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you, but they don't have no proof, no evidence. And you know you want to do it, then why you stressing yourself out?
No, it ain't about it. It's about everything them niggas doing, man. Like they thinking of me, then you know he already put my name in those songs and stuff. So much what I do. I mean, he making these folks thinking he was doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit is on another level. You know what I mean? This shit ain't got nothing to do with it. It ain't got nothing to do with it. When home getting killed, it ain't got nothing to do with it. It got something to do with our house getting shut up, how I'm done, do that. You know what I mean? I ain't got nothing to do with none of this shit. You know I went to hang with them. You feel? But I just got to prove that I ain't had nothing to do with none of this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I was trying to tell you, don't tell nobody. You know what I mean? I don't tell
I
nobody.
ain't told nobody.
Huh?
I ain't told nobody.
Yeah, I know that. I know. Shit crazy, man. I told her.
Why you should told you
Huh?
could have been what?
What you say?
Why you infiltrate one $50 debt they will get you down there?
I can't hear you.
Why you didn't just infiltrate the bring the $50 they will get you on your book?
What, to you?
To put on your book? Cause he ain't getting out of yet. He probably trying to see him and say him to put the $50 they will get you on your book.
He's gonna give me some money from himself. Like he's gonna come up with my own. I just ain't they trying to kill it, you know, I ain't got a chance to tell nobody. Yeah,
You want me to text him?
yeah, catch me. And that's okay, he come put money on the book.
Hold on.
You could go to Grainger.com to find what you need to get the job done. Grainger, supplies and solutions for every industry.
Freddy's Pumpkin Pie Concrete and our new Caramel Apple Pie Shake are your favorite fall treats. Dine in or order online.
You sound like you in nigga dead right now, bro.
Because
It's my fault, I know. It's always my fault.
I ain't seen you, bro.
She won't nobody give me that. Shit, what time is it?
11:24.
You know what I'm saying, man? I need to get into a gate.
Who?
To a gate.
Who?
Gate,
You know how to get situated.
you want to try to call on 2-way?
You finished?
No, it's still playing.
04291. Please enter your password. Please enter your password. Mailbox number, please. Sorry, could not find a mailbox for that number. Please enter the mailbox number specified by your system manager.
Hello.
Please enter the mailbox number specified by your system manager. Sorry you were having trouble. Please try again later. Goodbye.
Trading debit,
Mm-mm.
debit there.
What?
Debit, let me debit you.
Mm-mm.
What is debit?
Nobody in my background. I just said I'm here by myself.
Hello.
Yeah.
Anybody even went to your window? Saying about your window.
Hello, what?
About your window.
You said they went there?
I said ain't nobody went to the window.
I know.
I'm cleaning the kitchen.
Well, last time they start spreading around rumors.
Huh?
They need to start spreading around rumors.
Yeah, look,
I'm not funny.
I need to get Tommy number.
Who did?
Catch me a brother who I always be speaking to, Johnny Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
I need to ask him, can he be able to help me out on my bun?
You know that's one. I know she do turn. He said, ask him, did you check to see was it on her?
Tell her I couldn't do out here. Hello.
Yeah. Yes.
Misha.
Misha too.
That's it. You get me in all the trouble, bro. How about somebody do, man?
You have 1 minute remaining on your call.
You can play them, but you won't play them on the issue while you play.
Okay.
When you said it was on there, can't you call me from your book?
I can't hear you.
Can't you call me from your book now?
No, JJ.
He said, he said like it was on there, so can't you call me from your book?
I'm finna try to check and see if it's on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love you, okay?
I love you too.
I need you to be here for me.
Hold on, I'm here.
I'm finna try to, my book and call you, right?
All right.
All right. And Mr. Copeland, in that call, did you again tell Demikian, tell Deshaun, that he's already putting my name in songs and stuff about what I do? He's making these folks think it's me doing it. You're staring. Do you have a response?
Yeah,
Okay. Did you tell Deshaun that?
we just heard it.
Okay. So that a yes?
I said, yeah.
All right. And that this shit is on another level. This shit ain't got nothing to do with homes getting killed. It got something to do with all those houses getting shot up.
That's what I said.
All right. And all them guns Thug got.
That's what I said.
Okay. I ain't got nothing to do with none of that shit. I was just not just hanging with them. I just got to prove I got nothing to do with none of this. You know what I mean?
That's what I said.
All right. And then later on in the call, you said, I let these N-words get me in trouble for something I did not even do, man. Do you recall hearing yourself say that?
That's what I said.
All right. Now, these are 3 jail calls that we played. All of these were between you and Deshaun, correct?
That's what we heard.
And on June 10th, you told Deshaun, I mean, not say June 10th, on that first call, you told Deshaun again that when D comes down and tell them, they will see that you're not lying, correct? You testified to this jury that Demekion never told you about Nuts murder, correct?
That's what I said.
So which one is it? Is it what you told Deshaun on this jail call, the woman that you love, or what you telling this jury here today?
What I'm telling the jury today is that Ladie never told me that.
But that's not what you told the mother of your child in a jail call back in 2015.
And you heard her telling me to stop lying. So she know that how I am.
Did you hear her say stop lying in the call I just played for you?
She said, what are you telling too many, like, just stop. You heard her, man. She get no different treatment from nobody else. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to drag her in nothing I got going on.
And what were the houses that you were referring to when you told her these houses getting shot up?
Whatever houses that were being shot up.
Okay. Do you know which ones you were talking about in this particular?
No, I do not.
Okay. And what guns were you talking about?
None.
So why would you tell her that?
Because I mean, I'm in jail. Like I don't know.
Isn't it true, Mr. Copeland, that when you talk to Deshaun, she's not the police? She's not anyone you have to finesse, that you told her exactly what was happening back in 2015?
Miss Hilton, you heard her say out her mouth, why am I keep lying? I did say this, why am I switching my, you doing it to yourself, just stop.
In these last two calls, she never said anything about lying, did she?
No, she didn't.
And Mr. Copeland, is it fair to say that you still love Shannon?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You still love Thug,
Yes, I do.
and you don't want anything, and you don't want your testimony to hurt them, correct?
It's not about hurting them. I told you I lied. It's the truth. I lied.
I have no further questions.
All right, does anybody have recross? Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Mr. Copeland. I'll be brief.
Okay.
You recall this morning, Ms. Hilton spent a lot of time going over the fact that you're a liar, correct?
Yes,
And you told Ms. Hilton that before you ever testified to this court, correct?
correct.
I did not call you here as a witness, right? You didn't receive a subpoena from me.
I haven't spoken to none of y'all.
Okay, you received a subpoena from the state to be here.
Yeah, from Miss Hilton.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Mr. Copeland, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I want to make sure we're all on the same page here. Your testimony is that what you told. Gotcha. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Remember, we went through your statements to the police in 2015, correct?
Correct.
All right, and you remember, we pointed out the first time that you said that you had heard, first time you had claimed that you had heard that my client Shannon and Mr. Kendrick and others were responsible for Donovan Thomas. The first time you claimed that was June 10th of 2015, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you claimed that your source of information was Demekion Garlington.
That's what I told the police.
That's what you told the police. And you have made it very clear, I think, that your testimony is that was a lie.
It is.
Right. Now, what I want to make clear is your intention at the time, June 10th, 2015, you were being arrested.
Yes,
That was the reason for the finesse, correct?
yes,
Okay. And your intention was that Demekion Garlington, Lil D, was going to back you up.
that's what I said.
Okay. And want to be clear, the statement Shannon, Yak, Duop, and Nard, you were asked by Ms. Hilton if you told that lie that you made up on June 10th, you were asked if you had shared those names with anyone else. And I believe you said with Little D, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
You said I shared the names with him?
Yes.
Yes.
Characterization of the question.
Okay.
You want to rephrase?
Those 4 names that you made up, you shared those names with Lil D, correct?
That's what I said.
Okay, and I'm asking, I'm not worried about what you said right now. I'm asking for the truth. So you shared those names with Lil D.
Y'all confusing me at this point, man.
I'm not trying to confuse you. You needed, in your mind, you felt you needed Demekion Garlington to back you up, correct?
That's what I thought he was gonna do.
Okay, and you needed to share the lie you made up with him, correct?
I told the investigator that Lydia come clear me.
Right. And so you shared the information that you gave to the investigator, the lie. You shared that with Lil D, correct?
I shared it with Moontoon too.
Okay, and you, I believe your testimony was Lil D, after you shared it with him, said, "Damn boy, you hell." Is that?
He said he got my back.
Do you know? If you know, do you know who Moontoon might have shared that information with, that lie with? If you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, do you know who Mr. Garlington, Lil D, may have shared that information with?
Well, I thought he was gonna tell it to the police, but I guess he didn't.
Okay, do you know who he shared it with? I'm not asking you to speculate. If you don't know, you don't know.
I don't know.
Okay. We just played some jail calls from 2015, correct?
They
They
did?
just did. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
All right. And that was 394 Yankee, I believe, was the exhibit number. Every time you speak on those jail calls from jail, every jail you've ever been to, they play a recording in the beginning. A lady's voice comes on in the beginning, right?
Your call is being recorded.
Right. You know your calls are being recorded, correct?
Right.
You knew in 2015 your calls are being recorded, correct?
I knew before I even went to jail.
That's common knowledge, correct?
Right.
Okay. And obviously, if you're being recorded, you can control what you say on the recorded line, right?
Right.
So you can say things like, Lil D told me this or that, right?
I can say whatever I want to say.
Right. What you can't control is what the person you're talking to says. Like when Deshaun said, "You're a liar, you're lying," you switched it up. That's the part you can't control on the jail recorded calls, right?
Well, you know that.
Talk about recordings. Let's move to meetings with the district attorney. You talked about several times the district attorneys, members from the district attorney's office coming to meet you in jail and in prison too, right? Federal?
Not federal,
Okay.
but state.
State jail
No,
and
no,
state
the
prison?
County jail.
County jail. Okay. Rice Street
Fayetteville.
in Fayetteville. Okay.
And Verito came to Rice Street.
Okay. Viverito had a, when we say Viverito, we're talking about investigator Viverito.
Yes,
She had a cell phone, you said.
she did.
Okay. Now you didn't have, you're in jail. You don't have the ability to record your meetings with the DAs in jail, do you?
No.
Okay. Do you know if they recorded those meetings?
The one in Fayetteville, I thought I caught Verito recording me, and then I started watching her phone.
Have you ever heard the recordings of the DAs when they came to meet you?
No,
Okay, what about in judges' chambers? You ever hear a recording of that?
what you mean?
A recording, an audio recording of that meeting?
You talking about when I recorded them?
No, I'm talking about June 10th, 2024. You ever hear an audio recording?
No,
Okay, so the state has been playing recordings of phone calls you're making from jail, right?
I don't
The
understand.
state has played phone calls, recordings of phone calls you've made from jail. We just heard some, right?
Yes,
Okay, but do you know where the recordings of the state meeting with you, those meetings are?
Objection.
Know where those recordings are?
Human effects not evidence.
Sustained.
Okay, let's talk about the warrants for the murder of Donovan Thomas. Okay, you acknowledge that you were charged with the murder of Donovan Thomas, correct?
they charged me.
Right. And when you say they, let's talk about that. When you say they, you're talking about Detective Thorpe, correct?
So I'm talking about the police, so the DA, I don't know who did it, but they told me I've been charged with murder.
Okay. Do you remember in 2015, and we talked about it, you gave statements about where you were that day, right? That you felt cleared you from the murder.
I did.
Okay. And you also lied to the police about Demekion telling you certain information,
But I don't say that for like a billion times.
right? And you would agree that if someone were to believe that lie, it would have cleared you from the murder, right?
I don't get what you
Just
said.
regulation.
Sustained.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Detective Thorpe, he took those warrants out on you in October of 2015, correct?
He took them out on me while I was in jail.
Right. After you gave that statement on June 10th, 2015, right?
Some months after, yeah.
Right. So he heard what you said on June 10th, 2015, and then months after that, he took out warrants for your arrest.
You say that again?
He heard what you said on June 10th, 2015, and then months later, warrants were taken out for your arrest for that murder, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And finally, may I approach the evidence,
may.
Your Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Kokomo, could you play that prior testimony? Do you remember testifying about do you remember when I stood up there and talked to you about your pending charges that were dismissed?
Yes.
Okay. Could you play that clip, Mr. Kokomo?
Do I gotta listen to it?
If you would.
You're right. He said he remembered it, so I would.
Is there some reason we need to hear it again? Can you just ask him about it?
Okay. I can.
Okay, let's do that.
And you remember I was standing right there and reading the sheet?
Yes.
Okay. I was reading the sheet and you were agreeing with me, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And I never said that Fonnie Willis signed the piece of paper, did I?
You said who name is that?
Okay. Mr. Kokomo, could you publish 27D? Okay, and Mr. Copeland, I asked you if Fonnie Willis's name was on the decision of district attorney declined to prosecute defendant. And that's your name on the sheet, right, Kenneth Copeland?
Yes.
Okay. And I asked you if Fonnie Willis's name was on the sheet, right?
Yes.
Okay. And the sheet starts out, comes now, Fonnie Willis, District Attorney for the Atlanta Judicial Circuit, State of Georgia, and shows this honorable court the following, correct?
Correct.
And it's signed by another man named Kenneth Hutcherson, whose title is labeled as Executive District Attorney, correct?
That's what she just showed me.
All right. And you know Ms. Fonnie Willis to be the elected District Attorney of Fulton County, correct?
I think she like the head person.
The boss,
Yeah.
Mr. Hutcherson's boss. Let me ask you, this was from 2021, right? When you were first charged with this false statement and false report of a crime. It was 2021, right?
When I was in jail.
Yes. Okay. Who was the attorney that got this case dismissed for you? Who was your attorney on this case?
You?
I was?
You told me?
Did you ever hire an attorney on this case?
I'm saying you told me.
Okay. Well, let me ask you, what advocating for yourself did you do that convinced the district attorneys to dismiss this case in January 2024? What did you do to get them to dismiss it?
Sustained.
Mr. Copeland, you've said in your testimony that you've been sent, the police have constantly sent you to jail for things you didn't even do, right?
Right.
The state has prosecuted you time and time again for things you didn't even do, right?
Yep.
People are picking on you, right?
Yep.
And then in January 2024, your case just got dismissed and you didn't even do a darn thing to make it happen, huh?
You told me. I didn't know.
All right. Thank you.
Any other recross?
With the court's permission, I'd like to publish 378 YD. It's in evidence already. Shannon Stillwell 24F as in Fox. It's 62259 through 62401, about a minute and 2 seconds. Mr. Copeland, can you listen to this? And this is February 21, 2015. If you need better headphones with the court's permission, we have other ones if you need.
All right.
I got somebody, I don't know his name, he was there, he everything. He called the night, well, I forgot what day they got killed, but it was a Friday night. They had, no, it was Thursday night. They had a barbecue. But the barbecue did the lot, it was blood, and everything blood. Then the whole meeting was based upon me.
I can't
They were all
understand what I'm saying.
John, can you stop it, please? Is that okay? Thank you. Would this possibly help? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying I can't understand what I'm saying. We can give it a try. I don't know.
No, may I approach?
Yeah, you can give it a try.
You keep your knees.
What I want you to listen for, can you hear me? What I want you to listen for is any mention of this conversation about you being killed with Mo, that conversation, any mention of Jeffrey Williams, okay?
All right.
I got somebody, but I don't know his name. He was there. He everything. He called the night. Well, I forgot what day night got killed, but it was a Friday night. No, it was Thursday night. They had a barbecue. But the barbecue just about it was blood. Everything blood. Then the whole meeting was based upon me. They was all in there talking about this and this, talking about this and this. So the nigga Mo was on the phone. So Mo told everybody, I need every last one of y'all, whoever 90s scraps is, whoever that other nickname, supposed to kill me. They gave all of them guns. The same night, they gave every last one gun. Say, treat me to a gas station and kill me. I forgot what else. But he called and he told me everything. He said, is this person a friend of yours?
Do you hear anything about Jeffrey Williams, or Young Thug or anything like that?
No, I didn't say nothing about him.
All right. And when the prosecutor's asking questions about your jail calls and Jeffrey Williams putting you in songs, do you know any other song that you are referenced in that Jeffrey Williams is featured on or performed with your name except Halftime?
You said, do he got any other songs with my name in it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Which song?
Beat It.
Anything else?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. And then when you were questioned by the prosecutor about Monday, June 10th, 2024, coming from DeKalb County Jail to the chambers of Judge Glanville, you remember those questions?
Yes.
With all of your time, Judge Glanville was there at that meeting, right?
Yes.
All of your experience and horrors with the criminal justice system, all the arrests and prosecutions, all your convictions that are in evidence, tell the jurors another. You said that you were coerced and pressured. Do you remember using those type of terms to testify?
I am.
Do you remember being told, and I know it was corrected by the Honorable Judge Whitaker, but do you remember being told by Ms. Hilton and Judge Glanville that if you don't testify, you have to remain in jail, not only till this trial ends, but all 28 people who are charged in this indictment resolve their case? Do you remember being told that?
No, they told me indefinitely. Whatever that word, they don't sound like a good word. And I asked her to explain it to me. And then he explained it. And then she broke it down to me that every defendant, so that means the people that go to trial next and all of that.
Okay.
And it could take up to so many years, and just not about to sit in no jail all them years.
And Judge Whitaker said that's not correct and corrected it, right?
Huh?
Later, the Honorable Judge Whitaker corrected that, said that's not true.
I didn't hear her.
Okay. I want to ask you, and if you need those if those help, the headphones. I want to talk with you about the jail call. It's states 295Y, as in yesterday, starting at 350. Your Honor, that's wrong. It's a little later. It's 407 to 420. I wonder if you can focus, if they help you, if it's they swear to God we killed Nut, so they going to stay on you, and at 411 they swear we smoked Nut. If you could listen to this.
Swear to God, we killed Nut, so they gonna stay on you.
They swear he smoked nut.
Hello?
Stay away from shit, bro. You just don't know it be your hood, bro. Your hood is scared of you, bro. Don't.
Were you able to hear that better?
Yeah, real good.
What was said? Tell the jurors, and they could listen to it their own at their leisure too.
Which part?
Both parts. When Max was speaking, who you call Max, Jeffrey's sister.
She
What
said,
is- Tell the jurors.
they gonna swear to God we killed Matt. She said, I mean, Nut. She said, can I hear it again?
Of course. With the court's permission, Your Honor, we're going to replay. And that again is the same exhibit 295Y, and it's from 407 to 420.
Swear to God, we killed Nut, so they gonna stay on you.
Swear to God we killed Nut, so they gonna stay on you.
Say it one more time.
Swear to God we killed Nut, so they gonna stay on you.
Okay. Did it say they swear to God, or did you hear it? What did you? I apologize. Did you hear they swear to God we killed Nut?
Objection, Anthony.
So that's how Dolly talk.
Sustained.
Okay. Explain it. Explain what you were going to say.
She talk fast, so when we was on the phone, she like, they swear to God we killed Nut, so they gonna stay on you.
Okay. And then Mr. Kokomo, with the court's permission, is going to continue. For that other person speaking, it's a man's voice. If you know who it is, tell the jurors and what that person said, if you can tell. And that's at 411.
Nut, so they gonna stay on you.
They swear he smoked nut.
They swear he smoked Nut.
They swear
He smoked Nut.
he smoked nut. Okay. All right, Mr. Copeland. Now, you said, you can take off the headphones if you want to. You said multiple times that you were raised in a situation where law enforcement, you believe you had to lie to them. Do you remember saying things like that?
Y'all have to. Yeah.
And some people don't have that experience. Law enforcement assists them. Was that your experience growing up in your area?
Yeah, when I grew up, the police used to run in from my house and beat my uncles up and kicking our door. So my whole life, up until my mama died. So yeah, we didn't like the police.
And when you get in that interrogation room, you said earlier, it's not about the truth. You remember saying that?
I'm listening.
Is it about just getting out of there?
Yeah, that's the purpose of going in the interrogation room, to finesse your way out.
And do you know people, other people, do you personally know who lied to the police in the interrogation room?
Shit. I mean,
Sustained.
Last questions that I'd like to ask you, a series of questions. Ms. Hilton asked you, Jeffrey's not seen on the Texaco video changing cars like you told the police. You know what I'm talking about, right? I have you.
Yes.
She then asked you about, was there switching of cars in the back of the Texaco? Do you remember something like that?
Yes.
Where did that come from?
That's my first time hearing it.
To verify or support your statement, Ms. Hilton asked you the following items. Did the police show you found shell casings? Remember that question?
Yes.
How does that support whatever you told the police?
Oh, you lost me.
I lost you?
Yeah,
Okay.
you start over.
Yes, sir.
That question was withdrawn.
Okay, if it was withdrawn, it was withdrawn.
Did the police show you rental car records from Hertz? Do you remember that question?
Yes.
How does Jeffrey renting a car for you put Jeffrey into a murder?
They did it.
We talked about the surveillance video of the Texaco and about the back, in the back of it, so I'm skipping that one. How about Duke? You know who Duke is?
Which one?
Martinez Arnold?
Yes.
Javaris Bradford or Tuda, do you know who that person is?
No.
Ms. Hilton asked you about, did the police show you a jail call from Martinez Arnold and conversation with Tuda or Mr. Bradford? How does that implicate Jeffrey in a murder?
Your Honor, objection, Mr. Still invading the province of the jury.
Well, speculation, so sustained.
Okay, the way Ms. Hilton asked you, don't speculate. How does that support anything you told the police?
Sustained. I mean, that's not something he can answer.
Telephone calls on the jail phone recorded from Shannon Stillwell. Did the police share it with you? That was her question.
Yes.
Let me ask you a different verification or corroboration. Corroboration is a bad word. It just means it verify. You know what verify means?
Yes.
Okay. It verifies your story to the police. How about Detective Gaither speaking with Miss Quarterman, Deshaun Quarterman? And you told the police Deshaun Quarterman knows all about this, right?
I did.
Well,
I don't.
in one of your statements.
You said I told the police that she knows.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about the police ever recording a call with Deshaun Quarterman saying, tell us what you know? That ever happened? Did the police ever show you that?
I don't think they ever questioned her.
Okay. How about this? You have your cell phone, or the police have it, June 10, 2015, right? You got arrested with your cell phone at your home, right?
Yes.
How about give you the phone and the police are recording and you call Jeffrey Williams and the police can listen? Did that happen?
No.
Thank you, sir.
All right, does
Thank you,
anybody
Your Honor.
else have questions? Follow-up questions? No, everybody? All right, Mr. Copeland. Is he released or just excused?
He'll be excused for right now, Your Honor.
So he's excused, he's not released.
Of course, it does.
Okay. Mr. Copeland, you are excused. It is,
Oh, what
I
do you mean?
guess, possible that you might be called back, but until you hear otherwise, you don't have to come back here again.
It's not over with?
Well, your testimony for right now is over with. The trial is not over with, but you don't need to concern yourself with the rest of it. But as I understand, he's still under subpoena.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And Mr. Engelberger, thank you again for your willingness to step in here for us, for the court.
I tell you, wouldn't.
You may be, and obviously stand by as well, because he's not released, but yeah, we would let you know and give you all both some heads up if he's to be recalled. Thank you. What?
It's that feeling of freshly washed sheets, cozying up on the sofa after a long day, having all of your friends over for dinner. It's movie marathons and blanket forts. That first sip of coffee in the morning. It's that feeling of home. Lulu and Georgia bring beauty home.
All right, I'm gonna release y'all for the evening. If you could stick with us for just a second. And with the reminder to not discuss the case with anybody, don't allow anybody to discuss it with you, don't observe in any way, and try to avoid in every way any kind of accounts from anybody or any place about the trial, and we'll see y'all in the morning, okay? All right, this next matter is going to be, it's going to concern a juror, so if the media could please stop recording. All right.
Choke, no joke. Woody's on. He's over, but they might try to bring him back, for whatever reason. But Woody can finally take a break now. He can get some good sleep at night. Choke, no joke. I'll be back later on live tonight. I got a video dropping at 5 o'clock addressing this Jane deal. Y'all crying in the comments. All right. 5 o'clock, the video dropping addressing the Jane Deal situation. All right. Peace.
Can be here tomorrow. He did tell me that he was letting the court know his schedule, but he did apprise the court, I believe, in Dublin.
Wherever else he needs to be, that he's going to, and once he's here, he's going to need to stay here until we're finished with that witness. He understands that, right?
I believe he does. We spoke outside at
Okay.
lunch.
Is he here now?
He should be.
Do you want to just have him come in, and I'll just let him know if I need to reach out to any of the other courts and let them know what's going on? I'm happy to do that.
Yes.
How long do you anticipate with, and I know you can't know for certain, but
3 hours.
okay. And then, so I don't know how much cross there'll be, but probably, I mean, lawyers are notorious for underestimating how long everything takes. So I'm going to say we might be with him for most of the day. And then if you throw in a couple of sound issues, which seem to be pretty regular as well, we're probably talking about all day with him. Although have your next witness lined up just in case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Yeah, while we're waiting for Mr. Wright.
Your Honor, I may have missed it. The state earlier, I thought, announced that there was 2 interviews of Mr. Sledge, and I
think that was in an email. Isn't that what we were talking about this morning?
Yes, and we said we were going to verify. We just haven't had the opportunity, but we're going to verify. We'll email everyone this evening.
Okay, well, y'all were, I thought, gonna talk about that at lunch, but
I'm fairly certain that the defense only
Can-
has one interview in the discovery.
can somebody kind of go ahead and sort that out before we leave here? Good afternoon. So I think that we're gonna see you and your witness tomorrow. And I appreciate you being here. You know how it is. You never know exactly when the next person's gonna get called, but your witness will be first thing in the morning, 9 a.m. The estimate is somewhere between 3 hours and I'm thinking more like the whole day, but who knows? Hopefully it'll just be tomorrow in terms of your scheduling, but obviously if I need to reach out to any other judge who expects you, just let me know that. And obviously our chambers will coordinate. Okay. All right. Okay. And if there's anybody that you think needs to be apprised in advance, just let us know that and we'll go ahead and do that as well. Okay. All right. So we'll see y'all in the morning, 9 a.m. sharp. Thank you. How fast do you think y'all could find out about, because I kind of wanted y'all to do that over the course of the day? Few moments. Okay.
Judge, while we're waiting on that, I I want to reiterate, I don't know whether this has been covered, but I do want to reiterate my objection to the admission of any guilty plea agreement or guilty plea transcript against anyone other than the witness on trial. I mean, the witness in the witness stand. So I do want to reiterate that and ask for a cautionary 105 instruction with regard to the admission of the guilty plea and any alleged guilty plea colloquy.
Okay. And I know we've talked about various different witnesses, potential guilty plea colloquies. Remind me what might come up with this particular next witness, Mr. Sledge.
There were two issues. One was the entry whole hog of his prior guilty plea. And the state, I think, made very clear. So there's a video of him taking the plea, and then there is the actual plea agreement paperwork that has been admitted for other witnesses. What I said and what I maintain is that we will not be tendering a guilty plea just to tender the guilty plea. We would tender the certified conviction, but as far as that guilty plea paperwork, unless he says something that is not consistent with it, then we won't have a need to tender it as any prior inconsistent statement. Or if there is some challenge to something that he said as a recent fabrication, I mean, unless there is an exception to it, there won't be a need to have it read into the record. I mean, we may tender it as evidence for the record, but not for presentation or anything to the jury unless something happens during his testifying.
All right.
That was the first.
You're not intending to introduce anybody else's guilty plea with this witness, are you?
No.
Well,
Mr. Harvey, can you give me a little bit of more info on what it is you might be referencing
the guilty plea agreement.
of anybody else?
No, of the witness.
Oh, you said you were objecting to the,
Admission of the guilty plea agreement as to anybody other than that it represents and can be used as substantive evidence against any of the other defendants on trial. It can be used traditionally, and there are 100 cases on that point.
I understand what you mean now. I thought you meant somebody else's guilty plea
No, no, no,
agreement.
no.
You mean it's use against
Yes.
somebody else?
Yes. That's
Um,
correct.
okay, and do you have a proposed instruction on that? What did he
Yeah.
plead to?
Your Honor, he pled to the indictment. So two things. One, I'm not certain why Mr. Harvey is saying that a 105 instruction is necessary. As it relates to this particular witness, he will be on the stand testifying, and his testimony would be admissible, especially as it relates to count one, as to all of the defendants. If he says something on the stand inconsistent with what he has said previously, then that prior inconsistent statement would be substantive evidence against all of the defendants, if that comes to it. But I don't know that it will come to that, so I can't really speak to,
All right, yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, just have something ready, and
Okay.
it may just depend upon what the circumstances are.
Well, the rule is as follows. One person's guilty plea or conviction may not be used as substantive evidence of the guilt of another. The evidence, however, a co-defendant's guilty plea is admissible at trial, provided that, quote, the evidence serves a legitimate purpose and the jury is properly instructed about the limited use they may make of it, close quote. That's United States versus Deloach at 34 Fed 3rd, 1001 at pinpoint 1003, as discussed in United States versus Clay. In United States versus Clay is, I don't know whether you want a Westlaw or Lexus site, but 2021 US Appeals Lexus 36080 or 2021 Westlaw 5795330. That's the general rule.
Judge, I think that's the general.
That's the general rule. That's not
Yes.
when we're talking about something like a RICO count.
It's the general rule as to anything. He can testify, but the plea agreement cannot be used against everybody else. That provision of the statute and the gang statute has been held unconstitutional. We've argued about this before. But his guilty plea can't be used against anybody else.
I disagree with what Mr. Harvey is saying. I think as it relates to this witness's guilty plea and anything, if it's a prior inconsistent statement, federally, it may not be allowed, but under the Georgia Rules of Evidence, a prior inconsistent statement is substantive evidence. So given that it would be substantive evidence against each of these defendants as to count one, a limiting instruction would not be warranted. A 105 limiting instruction, as Mr. Harvey has requested, would not be warranted. So I'm not certain what he's proposing to the court, so I can't really object specifically to what he's proposing.
It's not.
But I argue that.
Sorry.
Please don't
I'm sorry.
interrupt
I'm sorry. I
the
thought she was
attorneys when
done
they're
and I
talking.
apologize.
Okay.
But I would, at this point, my position is that a 105 limiting instruction isn't necessary. We're not talking about someone that they cannot cross-examine. We're not talking about somebody who's unavailable. We're talking about a person who is on the stand as a witness that will be asking questions.
Okay, so I don't think Mr. Harvey is talking about a prior inconsistent statement being used as substantive evidence. He's talking about the guilty plea itself being used as evidence against any of the people here on trial, right?
That's correct. That is correct. The guilty plea agreement can be used against Mr. Sledge, but not against the other defendants. Show the court a case. I want to see a case where it
Talk to me.
says that a 105 instruction and a guilty plea of even a testifying co-defendant doesn't require a 105 instruction. The case that I cited to the court, which cites a whole series of 11th Circuit cases is a case that deals with a testifying witness. It is not just unavailability. And fine, if we can see a case that says otherwise, we'll be glad to discuss it. In the meantime, I'm moving in limine and want an 105 instruction.
All right, well, give me something that you would like proposed, and why don't we all meet here at 8:30 in the morning, since we'll need to hash all of this out potentially before we get the next witness on the stand.
I'll be
Yes, Your
here-
Honor.
I'll be
And-
here at 7:30.
And what I heard
I
Mr.
will-
Harvey say that he's not speaking about the certified conviction. He's talking about that plea form where there were factual acknowledgments that were made. And that is what we discussed the last time. And that is what I told the court that I would not be using unless there was something inconsistent said. And that is why I said it would be a prior inconsistent statement that is admissible as substantive evidence. And Mr. Harvey is asking us to prove a negative, when in fact, the case law that he is citing is not applicable to this circumstance.
Judge, I am talking about a plea agreement. There
Are you
is a
talking about the
December,
part that he signs and he says, yes, I acknowledge X, Y, and Z are true, or whatever it is
yes,
he says?
yes, that's correct.
Okay. All right. See y'all at 8:30 about it, and send anything you want to have me consider in the meantime to Ms. Firstfield. All right, anything else?
We have a response for the Antonio Sledge interview, Your Honor.
Okay.
It appears that there's only one interview to answer the question. And also, Your Honor, I can do this now or when the jury is, I want to just make sure that the exhibits that we discussed today were tendered and admitted, Your Honor. And so I just wanted to go over those numbers again.
We can do that now.
So the exhibits that we tendered and moved for admission was 399Y, 401Y, 402Y, 403Y, 404Y, 405Y, 406Y, and 407Y.
And you think those were all admitted?
Yeah.
Or you're
If
just
they
trying to
weren't,
make
I want to
sure?
make sure that they are.
I know. So remind me what 399Y was?
399Y was the law and crime clip where I asked Mr. Copeland about reading the Hertz record.
Okay, yeah. I don't know if you tendered, or, well, I mean, you must have because you played it. So yeah, that was admitted. And then I know 401 and 402Y were, and then obviously anything that you played was.
Yeah.
Is that what everything else was?
So 401 and 402 were the
Guilty plea
document
forms,
Yes.
yeah.
And then
Those are in.
And then 403, just to confirm, was go back, 405Y, I can start there, was the video clip of Mr. Steele and Mr. Copeland and the portion of the We Killed Nut call. 406Y was the June 16, 2015 jail call. 407Y was the June 13, 2015 jail call.
Okay, those are in.
And then I just need to look and see what 405.
I mean, a lot of this is like it was already in, and now they're just excerpts. And so they already are in. They're just labeled as smaller pieces of the larger piece that's already in.
No,
right?
no, these were like the law and crime. Excuse me, the law.
Not the law and crime things. Those are in. And the two guilty plea forms are in. But all of the things that are just, snippets of things that were already in. I mean, they're already in. It's just more for convenience that y'all are relabeling them.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so was there anything else other than those groupings of things?
Okay, no, that was it, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. Anything else before we break for the day? 8:30. See y'all at 8:30. All right, we are adjourned for the day.
We can talk.